What's up, YouTube? Today we're going to be looking at a little bit more of the Fantasy Cup. We just recently looked at it. We were kind of focused on the Fire Fang buff on Salamence, but now we're going to be looking at buffed Astonish on Mawile. Now, why are we doing this? Because in this meta, Mawile is typically run as a shadow, and it's typically run with Fire Fang. So a lot of Pokemon who are expecting Fire Fang, like a Sand Slash or like a Ferrothorn, any steel really that sees Mawile is going to get out. And they'll often switch sometimes, at least at my elo currently, the players that I'm playing against, there's a lot of the Ghost Dragons. Like you got your Giratina, your Dragapult. Those are everywhere because they're so incredibly safe. You don't see a ton of Wigglies, just because of all the steals. You don't see Drampa because it's not great. So these Pokemon have really rose to the top because of how safe they are. And Mawile with Astonish hits super effective, and it resists the Dragon type moves. Double resists, or triple resists, I don't even know, but it's very strong. So obviously, when you look just purely at the matchups here, the Shadow Mawile with Fire Fang looks significantly better. Astonish non-Shadow drops like a lot of matchups, but it does pick up a Azumarill, and we did get a lot of either Azu safe swaps or Azu staying in the lead and not really understanding what was happening with the Mawile. And with Azumarill being as common as it is, it's basically on every single team. I think that's a huge pickup, especially when you're dropping things that you never see, like Skarmory, Stunfisk, Wigglytuff. Hardly have seen no Escavaliers, pretty like 2 Lucarios, maybe one Reggie, yeah. So, and then Goodra, we're running a Water Gun. Why is this? Same reason we're running Fire Fang on Salamence, right? If we see one of those Mud Slappers on the lead, those ground steals, I want to be able to come in with Goodra and do some quick, super effective damage with the Dragon type that they have no idea what to do with in the back. Oftentimes those are paired with a Azumarill though, and Azumarill actually doesn't have a great matchup into Goodra, especially because instead of being double resisted on the Dragon Breath, Water Gun is only single resisted. And I'm also running Thunder Punch and Sludge Wave for coverage. So anything that might switch into the Goodra is probably just going to get absolutely ruined by the Sludge Wave. So let's hop into some battles. So right away, I think in the first few matches I was on Fire Fang. So you'll see in the first match I switch right out, and then they come in with Whimsicott. So this is actually a great matchup to have Sludge Wave, but unfortunately they do outpace me, so I kind of just have to let this go. And then we can just come in with Mawile fully like Astonished down and get the KO. Oh no, so yeah, right. So we're running Fire Fang. I think it's only in the first 2 matches, and then you'll see me switch over to Astonish, and I honestly had a better time with Astonish, believe it or not. So, and now this gets me to the Moonblast, or not the Moonblast, the Play Rough. So I can throw this right away on the Salamence. They're definitely going to shield this. I should just go for the Iron Head here, but then they do shield, and then we grab, then we come in with a Azumarill right away. They're staying in. Fly from Shadow Salamence will hurt, so we will respect it. And then they're staying in even more. So my guess is they are weak to Salamence. I mean, weak to Azumarill in the back. So I'm actually probably going to double shield this because the pacing on Fire Fang Salamence isn't great. We saw it in my last video, but and then they go for an Ice Beam catch, and I actually hold my energy that time, looking for the catch, get the Play Rough. So they actually just didn't want to come in Azu into a mirror matchup when they were down energy. I ended up going into my Mawile there trying to catch a Play Rough, and they ended up throwing a Play Rough anyway, so they might be on Play Rough Hydro. But they do just go for the Play Rough. I do have to farm up here. I farm up to 100 energy, getting off this Play Rough because Switch Timer is almost back up again, and I need to be aware of a catch. And there's the catch. attempt. So I'm going to farm up as much as I can right before they make it to the next move. Get off this Ice Beam. This will be enough to take out, and if I can survive the bubbles, I will be able to get to a Play Rough, and I do on 1 HP, and I think that was a CMP tie as well. And the Azumarill lives on 1 HP. You cannot make this up. Both of us surviving at literally 1 HP. But unfortunately, my opponent takes the cake and takes the win in that first match. So a bit unfortunate. Same lead, and not same lead, but rough lead into the next match we've got Azu. And this is kind of why I swapped to Astonish later on, just because this is not a great matchup. Fortunately, I do come in with my own Azumarill, and I think I get a Play Rough catch, unfortunately. So not really getting the either resisted Hydro or Ice Beam that we were hoping for. I will CMP tie them, I think, on the next Play Rough, which we are successful with. And then they will have enough energy to probably get to another Play Rough before we're able to make another move. Yeah, so at this point, I'll let this go. I might be able to commit to the full bubble down at this point. Let's see. And I think they realize that, and so they come in with their own Fire Fang Mawile. I should have thrown a Play Rough here. Ice Beam is non-stab. But either way, I come in with my own Mawile. We're doing Fire Fang. This is only a power-up punch, so I'll let that go. But because I didn't go for Play Rough instead of Ice Beam, their Mawile is on 1 HP. But that does give our Goodra a little bit extra farm. And they have a Flygon in the back. And so they're on Sand Attack. And so they will be getting these Dragon Claws real quickly. So I'm just going to shield this up. And both of my charge moves are resisted here, unfortunately. And I would have to make it to 3 moves anyways, because they're at 2 shields. They come in with Azu. I'm able to fully farm them down. So at this point, I'm committing to my win con being fully farming them down. And I actually get the Dragon Claw catch onto my Azu, which is huge. But now it's a race whether I can farm them down before they get the Dragon Claw. And just like that, I lose once again on 1 HP. Yeah, a bit rough, but 2 back-to-back losses. Can we recover in the third match? I think we should be on Astonish now at this point. We are, but they're on Mud Shot, so I'm going to switch out into my Goodra. They will get a Dragon Claw off here. I'm going to let this go because I don't know what's in the back yet, and that will not KO our Goodra because it is pretty tanky. And then they come in with Azu, so I'm going to throw this Sludge Wave right before they get to the Ice Beam, and they respect it. So that's kind of crazy. I don't know, maybe they were expecting the Sludge Wave, I don't know, but at this point I will let this go because I'm not going to outpace the next move. Thunder Punch wouldn't even be nearly lethal. So I'm just going to have to come in with my own Mawile, and at this point I do have the Astonish, so at least those are neutral, and we're charging at a decent pace. You can see the pacing is straight 6 to the Play Roughs and straight 5 to the Iron Head, so it's not terrible. But I will respect the Hydro Pump here, and they actually do go for it, which means I should be able to get the full Astonish down, which is huge, because now if they come back in with that Flygon, I can actually threaten a shield, learn from my previous mistake of going for the harder hitting move here and just baiting with the Iron Head. And now I'm going to farm up and try and go for a catch. I'm unsuccessful, and then it's Reggie in the back. So we were kind of triple hard countered in this game, but let's see what we can do here. Are we going to go 0-3? So this is an instance where it would be nice to run Hydro Pump, but I am literally completely out of charge jams. I have 0, so there's pretty much nothing I can do. But yeah, we're just going to go for these Play Roughs. They do some decent chip damage. It's the bubbles that really are doing something. I will shield this up because I think I need to. I feel like I was expecting a switch there, but I don't think I have enough energy. Even if I can get to the Ice Beam here, which I can, fortunately, I'm still gonna need to outpace the Reggie, and I think I needed to overfarm by 1 bubble just to make it to the next move, because I think he's gonna outpace by like 1 turn. Yep, and he does. Probably Focus Blast right here. If this is a Focus Blast, yep. So I lost the game there just by not overfarming. I should have overfarmed just slightly because that was my only win con, and hope that the Flygon didn't get to a move, but Either way, into the next match, we see a Primarina, Waterfall Primarina at that. We're staying in this matchup. We do pace the same for Iron Heads to Hydro Cannons, so I was surprised they kind of let me get to that move. And this point I will shield because I want to at least grab 2 shields, and I believe I might win CMP. I think Mawile has a higher attack stat. No, Primarina has a higher attack stat, so they are forced to throw their energy, so they're low. It's with 1 shield, Primarina takes it in the 1s. Don't have a great way to farm down here, but we will just take the resisted waterfalls, get the farm down with the Goodra, come out with a bunch of energy. What are they going to come in with in the back? And it's a Skarmory. So we are able to get to the Thunder Punch. I believe it takes 2 Thunder Punches to KO, especially because we're doing neutral water guns. Yeah, so I think we can actually get to the move right here. Very nice. This Thunder Punch probably will threaten a KO. Yeah, so they are forced to shield. And we can actually make it to another great counting by my opponent right before I make it to the next move. At this point, I'm going to let that go. I can just bubble down. And what is in the back? It's an Excadrill. And because they don't throw their Mud Bomb, I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam right away. That actually doesn't quite take out, but I do have to let this go because I'm more worried about a Brave Bird, I think, especially because this Excadrill is non-shadow. And Steel Wings, they hurt, but they're not going to do enough to KO. So I will just respect the Brave Bird or the Sky Attack. Either one would be lethal from this range. And just click the move. And finally, after going 0-3 in the first few matches, we're able to take a win. So ASTONISH Mawile grabs its first victim. Into the next match, Sandslash. So this is an instance where, look, they get out right away. And then they come in with something weak to Astonish, right? Our fast move is doing so much damage there. I should have thrown a move there, that way I could just cycle reset them. And then they get the boost, which is really annoying because now that means they can get to another move. So at this point, I'm going to grab a shield at least before I take them out. And I do want to keep alignment here. Kind of. Maybe I didn't really need to do that. But I will throw right before they get to the Ice Beam here. I think I tried to throw on CMP, but they got 1 turn bring in, so that's what they get. And then they come in with Sandslash. They are on Shadow Claw. I'm just going to get this Iron Head. It is neutral, super effective on Ice, resisted on Steel. And then they come in with the Azu, because at this point they're in Bubble Down range. And I do want to come out with a move loaded. And we know we can take 2 Shadow Drill runs here. So we're just going to go for the full Bubble Down. My opponent doesn't throw on great timing there, but at this point, the game is over. So get the full Bubble Down, come out with the move loaded. If they respect this, then they're going to have a Thunder Punch or a Sludge Wave coming their way in the near future. They don't, so that makes this a little bit more tricky. But I think I can just come in with Goodra. Right before they get to the next move, I can either go for a catch, and at that point, they're going to be forced to throw their energy. So let's see if that's what I do. Yeah, so I go for the catch, but look, Astonish and Bubble, they're doing pretty similar damage, so we're actually able to get that farm down and take the win. Azu, so this is the one matchup we pick up instead of lose, so this is nice. So we're going to stay in with Astonish here. My opponent has no idea what's going on. I will CMP tie them with a potential Hydro Pump. I do not want to take a Hydro Pump, so I probably will shield back. And are they running it, and are they going to full send is the question. Just an Ice Beam, probably not on Ice Beam Hydro, so at this point we can just farm up. And they just threw what looked to be another Ice Beam there. I guess this could be a Hydro if they're running it. Or no, just a play ref. Okay, so then it's going to be a race, basically, who can get the farm down. And we actually pick, so that's the 1 shield scenario right there that you pick up. They come in with Skarmory. So I'm going to get off this chip damage with the Iron Head and then come in Goodra. And it's actually on Air Slash, which is pretty interesting. Especially because Steel Wings are super effective on fairies, and Air Slash would be resistant on pretty much everything in this meta that isn't. So at this point, I should probably just let this go. Ooh, okay, I'm shielding a Brave Bird. I guess I'm just reading that it's a ground in the back. And I go for an Earthquake catch there on my Azu, just doing a lot of chip damage and then banking the energy for the Skarmory in the back. And Earthquake does hurt, but it doesn't KO. And we are able to get this Ice Beam right before they make it to the next Earthquake, and they actually respect the damage there. Another Earthquake will not KO, and even if they snipe to KO, they're not going to be in a great spot. I actually hold my energy expecting the catch, get the full bubble down, and then come out with an Ice Beam loaded for the Stunfisk, and that'll be enough to take out. So good understanding of my health there, I guess. I was not expecting that watching that back. Okay, Berserker. They switch out into a Haxorus. It looks like they're on counter, but these Astonishes are doing so much damage that I just decided to stay in. But at this point, I probably will come Azu because their charge moves are either, let's see, Surf, Breaking Sway, Night Slash. They could be running Earthquake, but I don't believe this one ever threw it. So we're just going to take these resisted Breaking Swipes and then probably just farm to 100 energy to be completely honest. I guess we will threaten with a knockout here now that we've overfarmed. And they actually shield, which is great, and they bank the energy, so that's not great. And you can see I'm kind of doing the same thing. I'm just farming and banking the energy. And then they set in the Trailblaze, so I'm going to come in with Goodra. I probably will know. Oh, I'm going to shield this. And it is an Iron Head, so that's interesting. Interesting tech by my opponent there. But I am just going to farm up a little bit, get off this Thunder Punch to KO the Berserker, and then what is in the back? Nothing. They're going to come in with the Haxorus for the energy they banked, but it's probably double Dragon in the back, so I'm okay with that because now I've got two fairies, a Steel Fairy at that. So yeah, and it's a Flygon, and they have no shields, and I banked an Ice Beam, so this is pretty much just game over. So that KOs, and then I'm one move away from the next Ice Beam, and my opponent resigns the match because they knew that. Okay, Azu lead again. This is what I'm talking about. Azu is absolutely everywhere. So you basically, like, picking up this one matchup and dropping all those is almost worth it. I believe it takes an Iron Head plus a Play Rough to KO an Azu, and I was kind of just trying to figure that out, get a feel for the damage, because I couldn't really tell early on. And I always respected the Hydro Pump because I didn't want to just get KO'd by a Hydro Pump. But at this point, I will just get off this Play Rough because I don't believe they were quite in Iron Head range, but I will respect this. And they actually are running Hydro Pump, so we lose lead. I don't have a great way to farm down here, so I do just come in with the Goodra. Water Guns are resisted. I am going to get off this Thunder Punch right before they make it to their next move because it was actually on CMP. Yeah, Goodra, as you can see, 14 Water Guns. It paces one turn exactly before Azu gets to their Ice Beam, so you can throw it as soon as you get it, and that's perfect timing. And then they come in with Registeel. So I think my only win con here is probably getting a catch of the Focus Blast onto my Azu, but I need to get them a little bit lower. And at this point, they can probably almost get the lock-on farm down. Yeah, I'm too low, so I have to come Azu here. And I do not have Hydro Pump. That shouldn't matter here at least because they are low enough. And it is a Mud Slapper in the back, so I do farm up a little bit. I don't know if this will be enough to take out from this range. Diglett is glassy. It is. Okay. Can we make it to the move? I'm committing to the Play Rough. I was very aware of their energy, and that is enough to take out. So tough backline for 2 steals in the back against this team should be doomsday. But okay, here's another instance where they would get out because they think that I'm going to be running Fire Fang, but they get out into Azu, which is also a losing matchup for them. I'm going to get off the Iron Head, and then I wouldn't be surprised if I come in with Azu. Oh, I'm going for the Hydro Pump catch. Did I get it? Because that would be absolutely crazy. No, once again, catching the Play Rough. But at this point, we have the health advantage. So even though they have the energy advantage, we still should be able to take this. And they actually go for a catch. So I hold on to my energy, I get off an Ice Beam. I probably will throw another, yeah. because at this point I just need to stall the switch timer and then come in with my Mawile. And then I could probably shield once and fully farm down, yeah. Because if they full send the Thunder, which they do, I can get the full Astonish farm down, which is huge. Come out with loads of energy. See what they come in with. Are they going to come back in with that Azu? Yes. I don't think I really needed the play rough here. I think an Iron Head would have done enough. Maybe not. That would have been close. And then they have Wheezing in the back. So Sludge is single resisted, double resisted on Seal, super effective on the fairy typing. And then I get a catch onto Azu. If this is an overheat, we just won the game. Oh, okay, Sludge, that is super effective. It takes out. But we do still have the Mawile. And I think if we come back in with the Mawile, this will force them to at least throw the overheat. But not before we grab their final shield, which is great. They don't have any super effective charge moves probably for our Goodra, but I guess we'll see that here. We're going to let it go. And they full send the overheat, understanding that Sludge would not take out from that range. I will respect another overheat here, but it is just a Sludge. But at this point, any move here, we've seen what their moveset is. Their attack's debuffed. They're not going to take out Sludge. Hardly does any damage. We're able to get the Thunder Punch off to take this game. Okay, into the final match of the video. Who have we got here? Sandslash. Let's see if they get out right away, expecting Fire Fang. They do. They come in with Azu. Are we going to play it the exact same way we did in the last match? Yes, we are. Going for the Iron Head because they're one turn behind. That way they never catch up. And then going 2 more and going for the Hydro Pump catch on Azu. Did we get it is the question. Come on. Yeah, we got an Ice Beam catch. Okay, that's not nothing. That's better than a play rough catch. So that's huge. And they are running Ice Beam play rough, but at this point I can farm up probably as much as I need and then go for the play rough right before they make it to their next move. And this probably will be enough to take out. No, it leaves them on 1 HP again, and they get off some valuable chip damage here. Proud of you, bro. Congratulations. They come back in with the Sandslash. So at this point, I'm just going to get off the play rough, and then what am I going to do here? Because if they come out with a load of energy, I am properly screwed. Fortunately, we would make it to another play rough, so they're forced to throw a little bit of their energy, but just an Ice Punch is worth. I'm wondering if I'm going to come in and double shield and just go for the full farm down. So I will respect the Drill Run. And then they come in with Dragapult. And these Astonishes are doing absurd damage. And I believe I can get the full farm down, which is huge. That is just a Ring Swipe, but I didn't know if I'd survive that plus the Astonish. It looks like I wouldn't have, so it's probably a good move. I'm thinking that there was no point in throwing this move because I just need to get the farm down before they're able to get to 2 Ice Punches here. 1 Ice Punch won't be enough to take out Goodra. Goodra is tanky, so just go for the full farm down, and I'm able to get it because, yeah, there was no point in really throwing that move there, just because that gave them an extra Powder Snow worth of energy, and I wasn't going to be able to get to 3 moves, the 2 Iron Heads plus a Thunder Punch before I was able to farm them down anyway, so good understanding in that last match, but yeah, that is a team, and that is the benefit of using an unexpected moveset in Pokemon Go. A lot of people, because what that does is they expect one thing, they get hit with another, and then suddenly their whole game plan that they had in their head, they have to like recalculate. Because if they expect Fire Fang and they come in with the Azu, and then suddenly they're losing the Azu matchup on Mawile, it's like, oh shit, what do we got to do? And then same with Goodra. If there was we didn't see it in this video, but if there was ever a Mud Slapper in the lead and I switched into Goodra and they were just getting Water Gun down, they'd probably be like, oh shit, and then they'd come in with, eventually come in with Azu after taking loads of Water Gun damage, and then they get hit with a Sludge Wave and a Thunder Punch, right? So, and they wouldn't know the counts, because who knows the counts of Astonish Mawile and Water Gun Goodra, right? So that's the benefit of using unexpected movesets in Pokemon Go. But yeah, that's the team. Definitely try it out if you want. I know we're going to see Ultra League on as well this week, so I'll probably will be showcasing some Ultra League videos. I'm not sure what team I'm going to run for that. I've got some cool spice picks that I could use. But yeah, until next time, peace.